Wow, when you said hurry up and get down here, you weren't joking. I mean, why didn't you tell me we were having a feast?
Well, technically, I'm having a feast, and you have to do cleanup.
I don't think so.
You remember when you said you could run 100 miles in a day? And when I came to watch, you also said, if you run the 100 miles, you get the feast and I clean up. But if you don't run the 100 miles, I get the feast and you clean up.
Well, yeah, but...
And no buts. You didn't run 100 miles. I get the feast and you get the cleanup.
Fine. Hey, wait a second. You can't eat that.
Why?
Because it's not allowed.
Who said? I mean, wait, are you just trying to get me not to eat this food so you can eat it?
No, it says it in the Bible. You can't eat crab, well, shellfish. It's in the Old Testament. I remember seeing it in there somewhere.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you try Leviticus chapter 11?
Thanks. Yeah, see, here's a list of all kinds of things you just can't eat. Pigs, camels, ew, who would eat a camel? Anyway, here it is, verse 10. It says you can only eat fish from the water that have fins and scales. Crab doesn't have any fins or scales. Don't eat it. And don't eat that bacon I see wrapped around, Wait, is that a pork chop wrapped in bacon? That looks amazing.
Oh, no. My feast, Haley. You're right. There is a huge list of things the Israelites were not allowed to eat. But if you go to the New Testament, you need to read in there.
Fine. Where?
So go to Acts, chapter 10, verses 1 through 44.
Oh, come on. This is a huge section. Can't you just sum it up for me?
Hold on. Well, I don't want to get anything dirty, but okay. Well, okay. So let's see. So you have a guy named Cornelius, right? And he's a Gentile or a person that wasn't Jewish, okay? But he believed in God and he was kind to others and he gave generously. And he was a very good man. And he taught his family to be the same way. Then you have Peter. Remember, one of Jesus's disciples? You with me so far?
Gotcha.
Okay.
So Peter, follower and disciple of Christ, and Cornelius, a Gentile, but believer in God.
Got it. Good. Great. Now, Cornelius was directed by an angel to go and get Peter and bring him back to his home. He was told exactly where Peter was staying and with whom, so Cornelius sent someone to go get him.
Got it.
While someone was heading over to get Peter, Peter had a vision.
Hold up. A vision?
Okay. I guess you could say God was sending him a message that was kind of like a dream, but it was very detailed and very clear. Okay. He saw something drift down from the sky that kind of looked like a giant sheet. And then he heard a voice. And the Holy Spirit said to him, "Kill and eat." And Peter said, "Whoa, hold up. That's unclean. And I can't eat unclean things." But the Spirit said, "Don't call anything that God has made unclean."
Wait. Now I'm lost. Did the food drop on the ground?
Okay, so in the Old Testament, foods that were listed back in Leviticus, okay, they were considered unclean. But to take it a step further, there were also certain people that were considered unclean, like lepers or Gentiles, meaning people that were from the same faith. In fact, They were considered so unclean that the Jews had a law that you couldn't meet in groups. Jewish people couldn't meet in groups with non-Jewish people.
Oh, so not like they were dirty, but not listed as someone or something they could be around. So what happened next?
Okay, so you're getting it. So Peter, he went with the men that Cornelius had sent, and he went back to Cornelius's house, right? And when he got to Cornelius's house, Cornelius had a whole bunch of people in his home, all of them Gentiles. So remember that rule, Peter's Jewish, he's not supposed to be meeting with these guys, right?
Yeah, rude.
Yeah, well, by 2020 standards, yeah, definitely rude. But in those days, it's just kind of how things were. Anyway, remember God sent Peter that message telling him don't call anything made by God unclean. Now think, are all people made by God?
Yeah.
Exactly. So Peter began to preach and speak to the Gentiles, and they became followers of Jesus because they all felt the Holy Spirit move through them. And they just decided to follow Jesus because of the way Peter spoke to them. So Peter not only told us it's okay to eat our little shrimps here, but also that we should associate with anyone, because anything made or anyone made by God deserves a relationship with God.
Wow. Okay. So I guess you can eat that plate of food. Mm-hmm. Hey, look over there. Is that a Pastor Will? What, with a plate of crab legs? What's happening over there?
Hey,
Nothing. I'm just cleaning up.
Lee!